Okay, it's on.
Focus, man.
Focus.
Okay, wait, enough. Okay, we'll turn on silence. Okay, ready?
You're even in the shot.
Yeah, you're not even
in the shot.
I'm coming in the shot later, bro.
Come on, bro.
This
Move
tape-
over.
Bro, you get too many records over here.
That's too bad.
Let's go sit on the side and go like this and go like this.
Side shot.
Like this, yeah. Do that. Okay. You ready? Okay, silence.
Sleep time's over. Season 6, episode 5.
And
Kavet's still alive.
Yes.
With special guests.
All the tractor trailers are here. And special guests, welcome back. The wrestling
The
trivia.
reigning champion.
Reigning champion.
The reigning defendant.
Because I know you remember that.
Yes.
Max Holloway.
Helen Guapo's here. Helen Guapo's here, ready to go.
Hella guapo, bro.
Not to do any wrestling trivia because we tried, but nobody got that.
Right, not even in the shot, bro.
I know I had the shot. I'm in here emotionally. I'm in the shot.
Emotional support.
How about this angle?
There we go.
There you go,
There we go.
It's like the end of a b-boy pose or
There you
something.
go, there you go.
So you're back here. We're not gonna do wrestling trivia. We're gonna talk wrestling, but want to say first off, what have we been up to?
Oh man, I actually just bought a place.
Hey!
Home ownership.
Making adult moves.
Yes.
Making adult moves.
Adults shall be
So-
adults.
Excellent.
Yes.
Excellent. So let's go about this briefly. The process. What made you decide? Okay, now's the time.
Good question.
It just got to the point really with like rent. Rent is way too damn high.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So at that point, I was like, if I'm gonna be paying this much for rent, I might as well just start looking to own. So
Yeah.
of course, sleep time's over. I gotta hit up the real estate agent to the stars.
Hey, why not? You know?
Big started the process, trusting the process.
Yes, true that.
Yes.
Given that a few months, and then we landed on a place. We
Yeah.
walked through it, went through the whole escrow process. Had to make sure that my financials were good.
Yeah.
Which is
Yeah, there you go.
really yeah. So if there's any tips, make sure your financials are good.
There you go, bro. That's a
Credit
great,
score.
great tip.
Credit score is
Yeah.
is on point, and
Excellent.
yeah, just going through the process. And
Did you ever think you'd own your own place in Hawaii?
no, that was the craziest part. That was the craziest part because I didn't think it was possible. I mean, especially with how real estate is here.
Yeah.
Right.
Just waiting for anything to open up, even relatively close to town,
Right.
Yeah.
is rough. Because if you're trying to buy a place, like you're looking Kapolei, you're looking
Yeah.
Nakuli, you're looking Waianae even,
Right.
just to try and get a spot. But I mean, the fact that this place opened up and it was in a really kind of centralized location and the price was really good, like you got to jump on it.
No, exactly.
Yeah.
There's so much to look for. There's so much to what you need to decide, right? Your
Yeah.
budget, where to go, what are the things you want out of it.
Exactly.
It's an insane process. We've all been through it. I mean, the paperwork galore. How many things you had to sign?
Sucks.
Did you count the papers you had to sign?
I did not count. I did know it took about an hour to just sit there.
That's
and
not
sign.
bad, actually. Now
Yeah.
it's taken longer for some
Yeah.
months. A lot of paperwork.
Are you gonna change your door like Zach Morris has his door?
Ooh.
I think you gotta do it. You
I
gotta
gotta
try.
Battle, you
I
know,
think
battle
I'll
of
do it.
doors.
You got a door, bro. Just take that door off. No need.
I'll pop the door. I know, definitely changing the locks, but door probably. Changing them locks.
That's tip number one, everyone. Change the locks.
As soon
Change
as
the
you get
locks.
in, like first thing I'm doing, changing the locks.
Very good.
Oh,
Is this it's a house? It's a condo?
It's a condo.
Okay, so yeah, you have to check with the building. So you got to check with the building association. You
Yeah.
can change that door.
Okay, you have to check the building association.
You always got to check the house
Sure,
rules.
yeah.
You know? Always house rules. You never
Oh,
know.
right, right.
Yeah, there's always got to be something.
Always got to be something. Yes. But very good. Congratulations on that
Thank
one.
you
Yeah,
guys.
very
Thank
good,
you.
very
Very
good.
Yes.
And then with that, we'll get back to the wrestling. I guess we'll call you. We're gonna say you're the official wrestling analyst. Do we call it that? What would be the guy? Like we have the official MMA
he's a
guy.
champion.
You're the official boxing
Yeah.
guy. You're the wrestling champion. You're the official wrestling aficionado of
The
Stars.
Bobby the Brain of this.
Do we have any? No.
No, we don't.
Oh, I guess he's the guy there.
Jeff, come on the show.
Hey.
There, so that's it. El Guapo is
All right.
official.
El Guapo.
Yeah.
So we're gonna make this title official.
Yes.
And then with that said, there was a couple weeks ago was the Ric Flair 30 for 30
Yes.
documentary
Yes.
that we were going to try and cover, but Kavet died. But he's back.
I'm back.
So
I'm
we're talking
back.
about this.
I'm back.
Kicking out at 2.
Back again, exactly. Great comeback, sir. Yeah, that was great.
Yeah.
You were trying to do the Undertaker, didn't you?
So I try my best. to
No
do what I
one
gotta do.
figured it out. If you did, I give
I
you
try
credit.
my best to do what I gotta do.
Well
to
done.
Fit in this.
Well, get in where you fit in, bruh, because the 30 for 30 got a lot of rave reviews from a lot of non-wrestling fans. So
Shout out to
I figured that's
wrestling
why-
fans.
Yeah.
Feel.
Well, the wrestling fans are automatically, but the thing that drew a big attention to this was the non-wrestling base.
Oh, okay.
So, what was your take on it? Let's give your thoughts on.
My take
review
is it didn't feel long enough. I mean, I know they did it for 30 for 30. I know it's
Yeah.
ESPN.
Yeah.
Limited commercial.
Limited commercials, but that was only 90 minutes. And for me, like especially with a lot of the WWE standard documentaries, like the Paul Heyman one was almost like 3 hours.
Oh, damn.
Like there was just
Right.
a lot of stuff in there.
There's a lot of stuff they could cover.
And then I mean, Ric Flair's career has spanned like almost 5 decades.
He
Almost.
started in the 70s.
70s, yeah.
Yeah.
So almost 5 decades he's been around.
Yeah.
So there's just a lot of things to cover.
Yeah.
And they glossed over like a bunch of stuff. Like they started all the way back to when he was born.
Yeah.
And then they quickly jumped to he's playing football and then burning out and playing football and then going to Vern Gagne's wrestling school.
Nice.
Minnesota, right?
Yeah, and then from there it jumped from like him starting wrestling all the way to he's already the Nature Boy. So there's already
Yeah,
a lot of space in between.
There was a lot they
Yeah.
missed out that they could they didn't mention that he was a powerlifter. He
Yes.
was an avid powerlifter. That's why he was such a big guy, a stocky guy.
Yeah.
And then they covered the plane crash.
Yep, they
which
covered
was
the
good.
plane crash.
A lot of people don't know about that
Yeah.
part of his life. That's what got him to lose the weight. That's
Yeah.
how he became that build.
Wow.
So a lot of stuff they did. Do you think that they should have for him, because it is ESPN? Would they have allowed? You think that they asked for like maybe a 2-part 30 for 30? You think, but ESPN was like, nah, just keep it one time. No need.
I feel like it's kind of like how the Miami 30 for 30 was, where it's like
Yeah,
they
also-
did one part
Yeah.
and then it's like the response was so good they had to do part 2.
Well, look at the Lakers Celtics one.
Yeah.
They did a 2-part one now.
Yeah.
Is that what happened with the Miami one?
Yeah.
Oh,
they
I
did the
didn't
first
know that.
one and then I think they did a second part of it.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So
So it's possible. I mean,
Possible, yeah.
Depending on what the ratings were, I don't see why not.
yeah, and I mean just for the 4 Horsemen part, the 4 Horsemen part, they just did a 30-second montage of like
Oh.
these were all the guys in the 4
That was
Horsemen,
pretty rushed.
and then like wait, that was it?
Yeah.
They
So-
did I should have half an hour of that.
Yeah, exactly.
So is there one thing that you would have wanted to have seen that they did not show?
It's a lot more of probably a lot more of the Horseman stuff, a
Yeah.
lot more of the kind of old school like NWA. I think they really kind of glossed over like just the amount of travel that he did, because they talked about it, like maybe like 1 or 2 lines, like he would be in like Japan one day and then he'd be in like Minnesota.
They gave kind of brief.
Yeah, really brief, but like just kind of going through all those different stories.
Yeah.
And exclusive, Steve Times Over exclusive.
Oh, hey.
After I watched it, I actually set a Twitter response and I put it on Twitter. Like, I hit up the director.
Oh,
Yeah.
And it's like, yo, it's a really good documentary. I'm pretty sure there was like a bunch of gold that you just left lying on the cutting room floor. Is there plans for like a expanded edition or director's cut? And he hit me back and said, possibly. So,
Oh, that's great, man.
So,
There you
like,
go, bro.
so if they got
Yeah.
coming up with the Blu-ray for it, like
Excellent.
I'm down for like
Oh.
special features.
Yeah, I think he probably got a lot of hit-ups on that. Had to be.
Yes.
There was if you're interested, there's a podcast that came out right after the Cheap Heat podcast.
Yes.
That is one of the ESPN podcasts. They interviewed Flair and the director the day before it released.
Yes.
And then they talked to them about. Did you check this one out? It was
Yes,
a half
I did.
hour.
Yeah, about a half hour.
So they're talking about how they left a lot of people off the show. Like Jim Harbaugh was supposed to be on it.
Yeah.
They interviewed Mick Foley. They cut them all off because they never have time.
Shawn Michaels had like 45 seconds.
Right.
Wow.
So there's probably at least an hour's more they could just plug right on in there, and then that'll be it. So
Do they release Blu-rays of 30 for 30s?
I'm pretty sure I've seen them in
I
Blu-ray.
think so, right? I mean,
Probably
if
the
not-
bigger ones. Like
the bigger ones,
The
yeah.
Miami one, I know
Right.
they had one.
Well, if you buy it off of streaming, like if you buy it off the iTunes or what, they'll have the extras.
Oh, okay.
So hopefully they'll do that.
Yeah.
There was one that they didn't go into that they should have. Was they covered when Jim Herd took over WCW?
Yeah.
That was a bad time frame, and they kind of glossed over that too because that's what led him to take the belt
Yes.
to WWF,
Yes.
which was never done before. And they didn't kind of, that's the kind of thing that irked me was how Jim Herd they kind of mentioned it, but they mentioned that they thought he was old.
Yeah.
He was too old already in 1990, and they were going to cut his hair, they were going to give him an earring, He's gonna call him Spartacus.
Yeah.
Which just sounds like ridiculous. And then he said, "You guys, screw you guys," and then that's where he jumped ship.
Yeah.
And then the people that he didn't mention about the belt, you have to put a $25,000 deposit on the belt.
Wow.
So when you're the champion, you have to pay for the belt.
Oh,
You get your money
interesting.
back, but so you can carry this big thing that's worth $25,000.
Why the heck is that?
So it's a legit belt. It's a legit
Wow.
gold-plated, expensive belt. So he saying, "I'm leaving. I want my deposit back." And Hurd was like, "No, I don't give your money back." I'm like,
Oh,
"Okay,
interesting.
I'm taking the belt." Okay, I'll see you do it. Yeah, okay, all right. And he did. And Bobby Brainian had the belt. And we're like, how in the world do you get the belt on the? As kids, we're like, how do you do it? That's never happened before. You never see the NWA guy with WWF guy.
Especially like early '90s, you don't see that.
You don't see it because they never talked about each other. And that was the whole story of how he got the belt. Of course, they finally gave him back the money.
Yeah.
And that's why they would distort on television the belt. When he would hold it up, they would distort it. It wasn't part of a gimmick. It was part of like, there's legalities to this. Then they gave the belt back, and then they replaced it with the tag team belt.
Yes.
So he's walking around like Blaisdell with this tag team belt, holding up his world champion. Like, that's the tag team belt. That was
Did
just.
you know all this back then?
It was all. It came out. It was because it was all magazines.
Right.
It was all magazines back then. Pro Wrestling Illustrated back.
Yes.
I subscribe.
Subscribe.
Yes.
Nice.
$12 a year.
Oh, what?
Pro Wrestling Illustrated weekly too, which was amazing because it came every week. I was like, oh, I get this newsletter.
Actually came every week.
Every week.
Wow.
It was amazing. It was like that was the internet. I was like, oh, I get the news so fast.
Yeah.
It didn't come in the mail. Yeah, so that's
So good.
yeah. And what else? What else did you feel like you wanted to see out of that?
A lot of those like wrestler interviews were like super good. Can we talk about Road Warrior Animal in full face paint?
He bought in.
He bought in.
What do you mean? The interview now?
Yeah, no, the interview him now. They had like, the usual
Right,
ESPN like sitting in the chair, but like he's got like a collared shirt on, but then the full Road
Nice.
Warriors Legion of Doom face
I'm
paint
on
on.
ESPN, brother. I'm like, come on, full paint.
It's like your son plays for the Rams. We've seen you on TV. You don't have to.
Ridiculous.
You don't gotta put that on.
They're
And
gonna
then-
do the 30-30 on us, so I'm
Yeah.
taking it to the full tilt.
Yeah. And then on the opposite side of the spectrum, The Undertaker completely not in gimmick.
Yeah, he's just like hanging out.
Yeah.
Oh.
Regular Mark.
Wow.
Regular Mark. Just
You don't need to worry about nothing.
Yeah.
People still remember me. I don't care.
It's just,
Unreal.
It's just super
pretty
weird. So
classic.
like, even if they just released a DVD of just those interviews, like
Yeah.
I think that'd be great.
Yeah.
Just talking about Flair, just not in character.
The animation that they used to, that it didn't come off as cheesy. I think it was
yeah.
well done to tell the story that he's telling.
Yeah, that was a
That
really
was
good,
well.
really good kind of way to move the storyline, especially with the illustrations. Like especially the training, the Vern Gagne training was crazy.
Yeah, they did it really well done.
Yeah.
And then because of that, oh, there he is. There's the man. He's looking very serious right now. He has bad breath. No, he needs something.
Drinking mint.
He wants rice.
What is he saying?
John from Truist is saying to Kavet, "Do you like rice or what?
Batu.
You like me or what? You like batu and rice?
Batu and rice.
Gravy. There we go. That's the
John
new
from
local.
Truist said he wants batu and
Batu and
rice.
Good. That's what the Koreans eating now, bruh.
Wow, great.
Never mind the kimchi.
Elevated it all.
Never mind
every day.
Gina's barbecue already.
Staying fit.
So, staying fit, exactly.
Yeah.
So back to Ric Flair,
Yes.
as we were so eloquently interrupted from John.
Interrupted.
After the majority of the '90s, they didn't go into more of the WCW where the NWO came in. They didn't. They could have covered that more. Oh, we're all doing it. Okay.
Oh, yeah, mints.
Mints.
Trader Joe's mints, bro.
Already Trader Joe's, yes.
Yeah, there you go.
That's right. We'll get to that. I'll talk to you about Trader Joe's in a little bit. But they didn't go into how he got fired and he came back.
Yeah.
Where Bischoff fired him because he went to go see Reed,
Yes.
his son,
Yeah.
in the tournament, and he fired him because of that. And then there was a whole legal battle, and then
They
he
showed-
came back and he was crying.
Yeah, they showed the video of him watching Reed
there,
wrestle.
right? But I think they could have talked about that and how he was getting sued by the company.
Yeah.
WWE was suing him, and he was ready to jump ship. He was going to join in 1998 or 99. Like right when The Rock and Austin, he was going to come in and join that. That would have been great.
Yeah.
But they didn't cover that. The death of his son, of course, that was big.
Yeah, that was like the last.
How did
The last
son
half
die?
hour was like.
Overdose, drugs.
damn.
Yeah, he tried to live the life that Rick was doing, but
In
he couldn't
Japan.
handle it.
Or Japan, what was his
Yeah.
name?
Reed Flair.
Reed.
Ric Flair. Did he like make it big?
I've never seen any of his matches.
I have not.
They show him like in Japan. Like I didn't even know that happened. Like with Muda.
Yeah, he was
Where
in
with Great
Japan.
Muda. I'm like, I never seen this. So that is something.
Flair.
Yeah, Reed Flair.
She should call him like Ricky Flair or something.
He has no choice because the parents named it.
No, you can change it. Reed Flair.
Well, use the Flair name. Wait, Ricky Flair?
Ricky Flair sounds good. Reed Flair.
Yeah.
God, you won't make fun. He's dead, bro.
Nah, rest in peace,
What's the matter with you?
Located to
Watch
Reed
this
Flair,
documentary is
bro.
what I tell you right now. Get
Because
that.
he had a problem with his name, bro. I should change his name. Ricky Flair, not Reed.
There's already a Ricky Flair. His name is Ric Flair.
That's what I mean, Ricky.
So you're gonna make
bro.
Ricky Flair.
Ricky Flair. Obviously, it's a son.
There we go. Once
Reed,
again,
that's an
ladies and
accountant, bro. Which my friend is an accountant. His name's Reed.
gentlemen. Reed's a smart name.
Reed
It's a
the
smart
accountant Flair.
Reed Flair. Christopher Reed. No, it's Reeve.
I'm just
Who's the
saying.
famous Reed?
So he tried to like rock star it out then. That's how he died.
Well, his persona was a rock star.
He didn't know it was all an act.
What do you mean?
Like Ric Flair.
The
you know what
drinking
I mean?
and what do you mean? The drinking and the drugs and things like that.
So he was just like living it completely like on and off the same.
Oh,
He was
he
trying to
was-
binge drink like Flair. Flair drank like 20 drinks a day for every day. He drank all the
And then
time.
when he died.
Rick lived the gimmick.
Ric Flair's still alive. What are you talking about?
No, the son died.
Let's
Trying to
not
live
try
the
to
life of the
compare-
dad.
This is what happened. You know, listen, watch the show.
That's good. That's why I'm asking you these important questions right
That's a good
now.
question. That's a good question. I'm eating this mint. It's a good mint, by the way.
Yeah,
Yeah, Trader Joe's green tea.
What kind of flavor is this?
infused.
green tea.
Green
infused.
tea. I can't stand green tea, but this is okay.
Oh, yeah. That's
It's
right.
really good swerve there. It's a wrestling terminology. Well, I'm just saying, Reed tried to live like the dad. It didn't work
Yes.
because Flair
So
drank
how come
every
he never
day.
got signed to like the major?
Well, he was just starting to come up. He was.
Oh.
This was
Gotta
like
pay
this is
dues
young.
first.
Yeah, this is young guy. He's young guy.
Like what, 23?
Yeah.
Oh, and he died that young?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that sucks.
On painkillers, drinking heavily.
So they even made Reed Flair pay dues.
Of course.
Of course,
Come on,
you
they
gotta
didn't
learn.
put them up,
You gotta go
bro.
to school when you do it. You
No,
gotta
they
go to
didn't
school.
bring them up, bro.
You gotta learn.
Legacy, bro. Legacy,
Bye
bro.
bye. He learned.
Yeah.
I can't believe we're talking about. He's dead.
That's what I mean.
Okay. This is getting controversial. Creating cash right there.
Cash.
So yeah, Reed's dead. Okay, so
Rest in peace.
yeah, thanks. And
That's
then-
the last half hour of the documentary is put with Ric Flair.
Yes,
Okay. Oh,
and
yeah.
so they talk about how the daughter kind of took over because she didn't really want to be a wrestler, but she kind of became wanting to become a wrestler, become passionate. She's now in WWE right now.
Oh.
She goes by the name of Charlotte,
No.
based off of what? That not a good name too?
Charlotte Roos. Wow. Her name's just Charlotte.
Charlotte Flair.
Oh,
Charlotte
see, that
Flair.
sounds
Flair.
better though, Charlotte.
You gotta use the Flair name
Yeah.
Sounds good, Charlotte.
Flair name.
because Flair is well in fake wrestling. He's from Charlotte, North Carolina.
Okay.
So that's why they call him
Flair.
Charlotte.
There you go. Charlotte, North Carolina, Charlotte Flair.
Yeah, North Cackalack.
There you go,
You
bro.
got that?
NC
Okay.
up, we got it.
Okay, so how many mics you give? How many mics you give the Flair
Oh,
documentary?
that was easy 5 mics.
Oh, 5
There you
mics.
go.
Easy
That's right,
5.
5 mics.
Easy 5 mics.
You give 5 mics too?
5 mics as well. Yes.
Right.
Yes. One of the best 30 for 30s in just the 30 for 30 genre.
Yeah, just take out the wrestling part. It was a great documentary.
Yeah, it's a great just human interest story. So you gotta watch this, bro.
I will watch
Give
it.
you 1 week, bro. The time starts now.
I'll watch it by next week and I'll give you my review, bro.
So
There you
we'll
go.
see.
Yeah.
Nah,
And I think what
we-
also makes it more pertinent is that he got all the health issues like right before it came out.
Right?
Oh.
In August, he was almost
In
gonna
August,
die.
yeah, he was supposed to be
Uh-huh.
at SummerSlam. He
Yeah.
was supposed to be at SummerSlam, and he was supposed to be doing the Foot Locker release because I think before SummerSlam, WWE and I think Puma did like a capsule set.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
with like I think there was a Randy Savage. Oh, also shout out Randy Savage. Today is supposed to be his 65th birthday.
That is
Oh.
Shout out
correct.
Randy
Yes.
Savage.
Legend again. Yes, another one.
But yeah,
Yes.
there was a Randy Savage shoe, there was a Undertaker shoe, and I think a Shawn Michaels shoe. They released Puma,
Interesting.
Foot Locker, and WWE.
Oh, okay.
He was supposed to be He actually was supposed to do the event with Peter Rosenberg, who
Yeah.
does the Cheap Cheap podcast. And yeah, he just got into the hospital. They had to put him into a coma.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, it was
20% chance of living.
Yeah,
Wow.
serious.
Body shut down.
Bro, how did you
Yeah.
get,
When you
bro?
drink every day,
Yeah.
20 drinks. He had like 12 beers. I don't. They brought up a stat of all the drinks he had.
Yeah.
12 beers, like 4 mixed drinks or something. Unreal.
Yeah.
Every day.
Before he got to the show.
Damn.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. So for him to be the age he is, and to be talking and interviewing in the fall after that,
coherent.
Yeah, and coherent.
Wow.
Yeah.
He was on this past Monday's Raw. He came out as a surprise. Or no, was it Raw or SmackDown?
SmackDown. Yeah.
He came out
After Charlotte won the title.
Won the title.
In North Carolina.
Oh.
In North Carolina.
There you
yes.
go.
It was
Correct.
like they played that off so well because they're playing her music, and then all of a sudden the music cuts, and then they play the Nature Boy music,
Oh, I gotta watch that.
and everyone's like, "What the hell's going on?" And then they flash his name on the screen,
He's back.
Oh.
and it's like you just hear the roar coming, and then when you see him walk out from behind the screen, it's like it's done.
Yep.
Crazy.
And he crying, and
Yeah.
everybody crying.
Everybody cried.
Crying,
Everybody
oh.
cried.
Would you cry if you were there?
Notorious for crying.
Would you cry?
I'm getting chicken skin right now. Actually,
Everybody's crying.
Would you cry if you were there?
I have cried watching wrestling 2 times in my life. I would have probably cried at that.
Oh, alright.
What were the
Keep
two
it real,
times?
bro. Yeah, was
What were
Okay,
the two
the
times?
first one was when Flair.
Why are you out of the screen for, bro? You gotta talk to the people.
They're not
bro.
gonna know where I'm at.
You
They're gonna know
started
I'm
crying
at.
already.
I'm gonna do my.
David. Deep thoughts, KK. 2 times.
The first time,
Let it go. Just let it flow.
the first time was in '98 when Flair got fired,
Oh.
and then Bischoff fired him. They sued him, and then the Horsemen came back as a reunion
Oh yes.
where Arn Anderson was bringing everybody come back out. Steve McMichael come out. Dean Malenko come out. J.J. Dillon come out. And then they're like, okay, that's it. And then, oh, we got one more guy. There's one more guy come out. Ric Flair, come back out. And then he just came out of nowhere. As he was still being sued by the company, they allowed him back on TV.
Oh.
He comes in a suit. He's crying as soon as he comes out. And then just from that point, then he hugs Arn.
Yeah.
The part when he hugged Arn, I was like, oh man.
wow.
Yeah.
And then when he went to the mic, he was like, you know, I've been doing this for all these years. I just want to make you guys happy. And I was like, wow. I teared up.
Wow.
I gotta say.
Where were you? Were you at home?
I was watching at home. Yeah. Because Flair's always been my favorite guy.
Oh.
He's always been the number one guy.
I
Just
know.
as a persona, just everything. And to see him break down like that, cry, which never has happened.
Yes.
That
It
just
was genuine. It was real.
Oh, very much. I pull that clip when you can, and then put that in your homework assignment.
Oh, okay.
That is always
Yeah,
that's
that's
a
almost-
great, real
Horseman
emotional
Reunion.
thing. He was talking so angrily about Bischoff, he cut his tongue,
Oh.
and his
Yeah.
tongue was bleeding.
Yeah.
So he was bleeding from the mouth as he was yelling because Bischoff
Yeah.
comes out
Right.
and says, "Ric Flair, get out of here!" And then he just swears at him and everything. And he was talking so violently.
Wow.
Cut the tongue. So that's how real he made it become. You know, so crazy.
Second time?
Second time was when he retired. When
Oh, so you
Shawn
only
Michaels.
cried during Ric Flair.
Ric Flair things,
Yeah.
yeah. It's the only times I cried.
Wow.
When Shawn Michaels kicked him in WrestleMania and said, "I'm sorry." I
That is
love
the
you."
only time I cried. Yeah.
What do you mean?
His retirement
So-
match.
So
Okay, yeah.
there was an angle when he
Right.
came back where the next loss that he had
Right.
to retire.
Oh.
So this was after what Survivor Series, I think, all the way
Yeah.
running up to
This was
WrestleMania.
built
You
up
just
WrestleMania.
kept beating people.
Okay.
And it's just like the next time you lose, you're fired.
So Flair's gotta win. Flair's gotta win.
So then McMahon put him up against Shawn Michaels
Right.
at WrestleMania.
Ah.
As like Shawn Michaels is known as Mr. WrestleMania.
Right.
That's his show. So at the end, he almost pulls it out. He almost pulls it out.
Right.
Gets Shawn in the figure 4. Almost gets it. Shawn's about to hit the super kick on him.
Okay.
And good job on the director and
Oh.
the camera person.
Cut
who did
right to
it.
Shawn's
They cut
face.
right to Shawn's face, and you just see him mouth the words, "I love you. I'm sorry," and then nails him, pins him.
Wow.
Yeah.
Gets off of the pin, he starts hugging him,
Yeah.
whispering in his
Wow.
ear, and just digs out of the ring.
Yeah.
And then Flair just gets ovation for 10 minutes.
Well,
Wow.
Flair in response to in waiting for the kick, Flair's on his knees crying.
Yeah, he's on his
He
knees.
knows it's time
He knows
now.
it's coming. Yeah,
And that look on Flair,
yeah,
where he's still being like, put him up, but he's
Yeah.
crying.
Yeah.
And then boom. You can't. That's
Wow.
it.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
that's
Then when
the
did you
beginning.
start crying? What point did you start crying? You
But
got paid.
at the ending when
When
you
they cut
could
to
see,
Shawn, yeah.
when you cut the Shawn,
Yeah.
you know what's gonna go down, and then when Shawn
Wow.
embraces him after he pins him, he immediately jumps off, like we said.
and just runs to the back. Yeah, he's
And
just,
that was it.
Wow.
It was just you can't you're not gonna duplicate that. You can't
Yeah.
create that. As this whole staged choreographed thing is, that ain't gonna be. That's real emotion
Yeah.
right there. So that was the only two things.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
I tell you, bro, that's it. What leads into current wrestling?
Yes.
Survivor Series is this Sunday,
yes.
and I wanted to talk about this because this is actually because current wrestling is kind of to me already because the
Wow.
personalities are not there.
Yeah.
But this kind of intrigued me, so I wanted to get let's do a prediction because this is where there's two factions. If people don't know that, because there's a Monday Night Raw show, so you have people that only wrestle on Monday Night Raw. Then you got people that only wrestle on SmackDown. So this is the one time of the year they all fight each other.
This is very similar to kind of like baseball before interleague play.
Okay.
How it's like the AL would only play with the AL,
Right.
the NL would only play with the NL.
Yes.
And then during the All-Star game, that's the only time you see them together.
Wow.
Or the World Series, the All-Star game and the World Series.
Why is it like that for wrestling? Is this like a
it was
money
just
thing?
Dude,
or-
because there's no competition.
Yeah.
There's no
So
WCW.
They make their own competition.
Exactly.
Oh,
So
okay.
it's two different brands.
Right.
Yeah, and then they come together.
Yeah.
It's all controlled by one entity, but
Wow.
it's competition.
There's no competition. That's crazy.
No
Because they
competition.
bought them out. That's
Right,
it.
right, right,
There's
right.
no anything really.
Yeah.
So let's look at the lineup here. So
Yes.
it's interesting matches based off people that have not wrestled each other in over a year or even
Yeah.
longer. So
Yeah,
let's
when
go.
was the Brass? Like, yeah, the Brass was almost like a year and a half ago. It was like
Yeah,
quite a while.
yeah, and they're doing it right because they're keeping things separate.
Yeah, they're keeping everyone on their own shows, so
Oh,
Yeah.
there's no cross promotion or anything like that. But
Then you have two leaders, so we'll get to that in a moment.
We will
But
get
let's,
to that.
let's look at the notable matches here. We got the
So-
Cruiserweight Championship here. You know these guys.
Yeah, that's gonna be on the pre-show.
That's a
And-
never mind match.
Yeah,
Kavet, you know,
which makes me sad because the Cruiserweight show 205 Live is actually like probably the best wrestling show
right.
on thing.
Yeah, so there's a show, Kavet, on the network that they have is just cruiserweights.
Cruiserweights.
Oh,
This guy's
interesting.
flying around. Just imagine Rey Mysterio all the time.
All the time.
Running
All
around,
the Rey
jumping
Mysterio
around.
guys.
What is that called? What is
It's
that?
called 205 Live
205. Why is 205?
because that's the weight limit.
Oh, okay.
205.
Wow.
There you go.
So
Interesting.
it's the best wrestling show. The only bummer part about it when they do it is they record that show or they air that show after SmackDown.
Okay.
So you've already been watching SmackDown. You watch the whole live show of SmackDown for 2 hours. You see your main event. You see all your headline guys, and then you pull out these smaller guys
Right.
and have them wrestle for an hour.
Exactly.
And like you're already dead because you just watched. Like,
Yeah. You're exactly right.
Yeah.
Exactly
So
right.
it's like if they had just put them at the beginning instead of the end, like they'd probably get a better crowd response. But
That's what WCW used
Yeah.
to do.
Yeah.
But no one
No
pays
one will
attention,
listen,
bro.
yeah.
No one listens to
no
nobody.
one want to listen.
Okay, we got the women's match.
So there's two actual traditional Survivor Series. So Survivor Series is usually an event that happens in November around Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving tradition.
And the Thanksgiving tradition.
Yes.
the Thanksgiving tradition. And the gimmick behind it is it's a team elimination match. So
Okay.
it used to be 4-on-4. I guess now it's 5-on-5.
It's
Single elimination.
yes. It started as
5
5
on
on 5.
5.
Then it went down to
Then
4
to
on 4.
4.
Wow.
Now they're bringing up 5 on 5 again.
Yeah.
Kevin, you remember this? The Survivor Series?
I vaguely remember it.
You remember last year's Thanksgiving special we did? Do you remember what we did?
Yes. What
The
about
worst skit of all time, where we did the Survivor Series team.
it? Oh, yeah.
Where I played Jake Roberts, Sid.
Yeah, that was terrible.
Who else was even on that team?
Oh man.
Remember I did the whole the voices? Remember that thing?
Yeah, I remember.
Shut up! Who was that? Let's sit. Forget it. Okay, so back to Survivor Series.
Yeah.
We got the women's Survivor Series.
There's the women's Survivor Series match, which has the Raw team. The
That was a
captain-
sign.
Yeah.
Guys, checked out. He's
Oh,
like,
I'm
oh,
looking
you
for
look
it.
at
I'm
that?
looking
Oh,
for
Oh,
it
thank
now.
you, Kevin.
Okay.
Join us for
Yes.
this moment.
I'm looking.
Clarity.
I'm looking for the
Right.
matches,
Who we
bro.
got?
All right. So the Raw
Women's-
team captain is
Here we
Alicia
go.
Fox. I
There
don't
you
know
go.
why, but sure.
Never mind her.
Nia Jax, who's the Rock's cousin.
Oh, there you go.
to get the job.
Asuka, badass.
Everyone's
Japanese fighter.
favorite
Everyone's
Japanese-
favorite
That's
Japanese
one of
fighter.
those favorites.
They love
Yeah.
the Japanese Wando reposting her right now.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Sasha Banks, Snoop Dogg's cousin.
There you go.
We thank cousins we get over.
Yeah, exactly.
Zach
Family's
Moore's
a
cousin
family,
right
yeah,
now.
right.
Bailey. Zach Moore's
And-
cousin.
Yeah,
Bailey.
Bailey, I could talk to.
Bailey, which oddly enough, my cousin actually went to high school.
See, that's what I mean, bro. Everybody's
Everybody's cousin is in this.
Uh,
That calls for another B-boy poll,
Yes.
bruh.
what high school was that? Where's that? What?
It's in San Jose,
Oh, she's from San Jose.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, that
in
makes
the
sense.
area. Yeah.
Alright.
And then the only thing is though, with Charlotte winning the title last night, it kind of changes the SmackDown team.
They gotta pull her out of that match.
They got to pull her out of that match, so I don't know who they're gonna put into that.
Oh, that's right.
TVA.
Who would
TBH.
who would they put in? Who could they put in there at Kavet? What kind of female wrestler do you think they could put into that team? Let's see what you think of
Who
it.
could they put in there? Lana.
Wow,
Wow.
that's kind of a current.
Hot take.
How do you even know who that is?
Bro, don't worry about
You
it,
just
bro.
were scrolling, bro. You
I
saw
scrolled
that.
and see the blonde hair, Lana.
Blondes have more fun, bro.
She's probably related to my only Holly cousin, bro. Guaranteed.
Really?
Everyone's related.
I tell you.
You don't know how the cousin where she lived, where he.
She lived in Gainesville, Florida.
Maybe then.
Maybe.
There you go.
Florida, which is home to NXT, bro.
NXT, everything's related.
You have no idea about this. Okay, let's go with the next match.
All right. Women's match.
Never mind.
Never
Women's
mind.
match.
There's no real.
Okay, we got the tag team champions.
So tag team champions, The Bar
Okay.
versus the Usos.
Yeah, Cal, what you?
There really is a team called the
The
Usos.
Usos.
Yes, it did.
Wow, there you go.
Wait, let's keep the family thing going. So the Usos are
Keep it going.
Rikishi's sons.
No, they're legit sons.
They're just legit
Wow.
sons. Yeah.
That's right.
Everybody's
That's right.
sons of the
Everyone,
sons.
sons of sons.
Sons of Samoa, right?
Sons, so SOS, bro. All the soul is coming out. Booyah Tribe performing live, bro.
So
They should. They should.
They
Why
should.
don't they do?
I mean, they had a rap battle.
That is correct.
Okay.
That is correct.